The Diaries of a Wannabe Board Game Designer. Entry date 30 of April 2025. My name is JP Kurikka, and these are my journals about my travels to a rabbit hole called board game design. I'm making these episodes to document what I learn about board game scene, the board game industry, and to give you some idea what this industry is. How can you design better games? How can I design better games? I'm a wannabe designer, wannabe board game designer. I haven't published anything yet. I'm hoping to learn how to do that, how to get my own game to the public, to people to play. And to that happen, it has to be a good game. Not a decent game, a good game, so that people have fun with it. The idea with the board games is the fun. People gather together around the same table to have fun, have a good time with friends and family. And that's the magic about the board games. I've always been interested in board games. I've always liked to play them. There is something magical or fun about the cards, about the dice, about the excitement, and of course being together with friends and family. That's why I like the board games. You are actually there in the same room with your friends and family when you play the board games. This all began, I think, about 5 years ago, 2020, when I first started to really think that could I design my own board game? I took my little black book where I started to draft some ideas about games that I could make, or gaming ideas nevertheless. And I think it was about a year later, in the beginning of 2021, when I got an idea that the first game doesn't have to be big game. I can have fun with the small games also. So I really much liked games like Skippo. This is actually a very simple game, and I really like to play it with my daughters. And if I try the cell phone version of Skippo, I usually stuck with it for an hour or 2 hours, very long time at least. But still, I like the simple game. And it's just cards. First game, I don't need to think about how to make these miniatures or boards or stuff like that. Just cards and a box to hold those cards. So that's where I started. I got an initial idea for the game from this board game that my daughter got as Christmas present that year. It was actually Blockus. I still like the game. Abstract. You try to put blocks in certain order and put in the gaming area, as much blocks as you can. Whoever has less blocks left in the end of the game wins. Who has most of the blocks left wins. Loses. Whatever. Anyway, I got an idea from those games, and then I had this idea that in order the game to be good, there has to be some kind of trick. And for my game, it's that you have to give your fellow player chance to get points in order to get points for yourself. And if you want to do something in the game that costs points, if you want to do some special actions, that has to cost you something. So those are the basics idea where my game comes from. Perhaps I show it to you sometime. Anyway, I started to develop this game, and I made some Googling. I did some Googling and found out ways to make games or design games, and one initial learning was that, of course, you need to do a prototype. You need to make some kind of a prototype of your game that you can play yourself, alone, yourself, and figure out the rules and the good parts, the bad parts, what's the hook on the game, how does it work, and that's best done by designer, him or herself. One idea was that you can have teddy bears to play with you, so you might steal your child's toy dogs and beers and play with them. They are the fellow players that you put, and they take turns. Of course, you play for them, and so on. You see how the game evolves. After the game is ready enough, you make another prototype and you present it to your family. Perhaps I presented my game to my daughters. They were around 10 years old at the time, and we played something. I got feedback. I noticed that, okay, this works, this doesn't work. I changed the game, we play again. I have a sheets that show me that what was the result of the game and how the game went, how long did it take to finish the game, and so on. And I finished this kind of a analytics about the game with my own family. Then I thought that, okay, of course my daughters say that the game is nice because father has made it. They cannot say to their dad that this is terrible. So I need some honest feedback. So I made few prototypes more. I gave them to my friends and told them that, hey, try this at home. Play this game. There are rules included. Tell me what you think. And I got decent feedback. At some point I noticed that they didn't play the game at all how I was planned that it could be played. So the rules were not clear enough. I had to fix the rules, and so on and so on and so on. And then it came to the point that I think that this game starts to be ready. Okay, there are no artwork in the game. It's abstract game, but still it would need some nice graphics, some art, and I don't understand anything about visuals. So I need a people, some friend who can do this. Perhaps I can find it. But we are close to the point and I can publish. So I think that, okay, instead of going to the big publisher, perhaps I can do it myself. I contacted a factory and I got quotes that what would it cost to make few hundred copies of my own game. Luckily, life came in between. Nothing special happened, but I just didn't take that quote and started to make my own game and try to sell it, luckily. Because nowadays I understand that I didn't understand enough about board game industry or board game scene. Life came along, I had to make longer days or at work, or there was something else. So this project was on hold for a while. Then I think it was 2023 when I thought that, okay, perhaps now it's the time that I could publish the game. Okay, this is quite old, and hey, it seems that there are these big fairs about board games in Europe. Actually, Spielessen is the biggest trade fair around the board game industry that I know. So I booked trip to the German Spielessen so that I could meet factories and find out who could make this game for me and get the feeling about the scene. And I was totally amazed how big this fair was. Hall after hall after hall full of board games and board gaming people, designers, publishers, retailers, everything that goes with the business. And at least then I understood that I don't know enough. Okay, I had few good talks, and every factory said that of course we can make this game for you, and they will gladly make it for me. Well, maybe they someday will, but I also understood that I didn't know anything about my possibilities. I didn't know about Kickstarter. I knew that Kickstarter existed and it is place for startups and new ideas that you can crowdfund through. But I didn't understand it could be one place to get your board game funded. I'm still not sure if it's right choice for me, but still it's one choice that I didn't even have an idea that that could be one possibility for board game designers to get their game published. So I learned that there, and lots of other things. After that, I understood that I need to figure out what happens in board game industry. I've started to look for information, what is going on, what I need to do to make a best game possible. And I found few very good resources, very good places to be. And one thing I've learned, one thing that I now really understand. I knew it earlier, but now I really understand that you need to be part of the community. You need to take part in the gaming community. Log into Board Game Geek and browse around the forums there, answer to people, make reviews, read what people say about games, get to know the other designers there, ask questions in the forums, answer them, be part of the community. That's one thing. You learn a lot. One thing I've learned is that no one tries to steal your idea. Most of us wannabe designers are afraid that I have so good idea. Someone really wants to steal this. I cannot tell anyone about my idea. That's wrong. There are so much ideas in the world that no one is interested in stealing your idea. Ideas are nothing, finished games are. So finish your game, make it a game, then it's something. Get it to the publisher or publish it yourself. Those are your options. There might be other options. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out myself. But no one is trying to steal your idea. It's really not a risk. And then, okay, one thing. BoardGameGeek.com. If you are not familiar with that site, go there right now. Make yourself a profile. You can actually build your own game collection there and see what others say about your games that you bought. You can get new ideas. Hey, I want to try this game. You can read the reviews, whatever. I've been there some time. I think I've just scratched the surface. So much information there. That's one thing. Then one thing that I stumbled across just a few weeks ago was this amazing podcast about board game design. That's Board Game Design Lab. Gabe Barrett runs that show, hosts that. They've been running it since 2016. Since I stumbled across it 2 weeks ago or something like that, I've listened, I think, at least 50 episodes, 50 first episodes they have made. And I'm absolutely amazed about the information amounts and the quality that they are pouring into my head when I listen to it. You can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Spotify, and probably many more places. But Board Game Design Lab, and there's also a web page that has a lot of resources how to design your board games, boardgamedesignlab.com. Visit that, get to know the site. There are a lot of tools that you can use. You can get a lot of ideas. So these are just the first places, first resources that I recommend that you check out if you are wannabe board game designer, just like myself. You can get lots of hints there. Then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to continue documenting these learnings that I have, what I learned from this Board Game Design Lab podcast, what I learned when I meet people, other designers. I'll put them out on the episodes, and I keep designing my own game. The next steps for my game is that I'm gonna find out some blind testers, new people that have never heard of me, don't know me. There are a lot of those, of course, and I try to give my game to them to play and to get honest feedback. I need honest feedback, not my friends, not my family. Everyone who knows me might be afraid that if they give bad feedback, they hurt my feelings. I need honest feedback from the people that don't have to be afraid that if I get hurt about the feedback. If my game sucks, it sucks. That's not the player's fault, that's my fault. If I get honest feedback, I can do something about it. So actually, at this point, my game, which I currently call Plus Minus, is on the prototype version 3.4. There might be lots of versions to come. I'm trying to find a new theme that would fit into the game, but I need to get it tested. That's what I've learned. Test, test, test. Get people to play your game, get feedback, and fix your game. Fix the issues until you are sure that it's a game that fits the spot you have reserved for it. I think that every game has some kind of a spot. Some games are best played with your family. They never get published. Some games will. I don't know about my game idea, this idea. I have lots of other ideas that I'm thinking about starting to make. But we'll see what happens. Thanks for being with me. We see you next time, and keep designing good games. And hey, if you are a pro who is seeing or hearing this episode somewhere, I really like to hear your thoughts and ideas. What a wannabe board game designer should know, where I should go, what to do next to make best possible games. See you next time.